I'm Sage Valentine, and welcome to my latest review of Survivor Season 32, Kaoh Rong, Brains vs. Beauty vs. Brawn Part 2, episode number 12. So, all in all, tonight's episode was okay, but I was just waiting for a surprise eviction, for something crazy to happen, for a blindside to happen. I mean, I should be a lot happier that Jason went home, seeing as since literally day one, day two, I've been hoping, having my fingers crossed, just about praying that he would go after all of his and Scott's shenanigans occurred. Unfortunately, tonight I'm just like, eh. And Jason seemed the same way. Jason was just like, eh, I'm going home, but at least I know who's going after me. And some of you guys will say, well, who's going home after him? Ty. Ty has become public enemy number one, and unless he can find a way to turn the target on somebody else, he is most certainly going home. And Jason did not get as far as he wanted to in this game, but he did sow the seeds of doubt that were already in the minds of the other tribesmates. And unfortunately, because Ty has been so open with his fellow alliance members, his fellow tribesmates, about his advantage, which he revealed to, I believe it was Aubrey and Joe tonight, and he also told them about the idols, that makes him weak, in my opinion, because of the fact that people are going to continue to target him. When Ty said that he felt like Jason was a lesser threat than Michele, I was kind of like, what is he talking about? Because if anybody made it to the end with Jason, I truly believe that Jason would win because, like someone said on or tweeted to me, Jason had guaranteed votes and a sob story, i.e. a story about his daughter. But he also had his immunity challenge wins, his reward challenge wins, and he also had a hand in the shenanigans with Ty and with Scott. So, I mean, all of that together presented to the jury, I mean, to me, that's a winner right there because he really played the hell out of this game. I mean, yeah, his allies were picked off one by one, but I still give him an A for effort for at least trying to stay in the game. That is until he got very upset and said that he felt like everybody in the game right now isn't playing the game and he felt alone, and the reason why he was alone is because nobody trusted him, and people are playing the game, they just didn't want to play with him. And like Joe said, Jason is upset because things aren't going his way. And I was just like, Joe being the voice of reason, all right, sign me up, I'm here for that. Now, Jason, Michele, and Ty ended up winning the reward challenge, which included this picnic at this wildlife alliance. And basically, they all were able to meet monkeys and this 16-year-old elephant. And Ty reveals to us that he wants, and I think he also said it to Jason, that he wanted Michele to go over him. And I'm just like, why? And then Michele says she's not too keen on Jason and she wanted him out if he didn't win immunity. And Jason, in my eyes, does have a bigger chance, or did have a bigger chance in winning over Michele. And I believe that if Michele makes it to the final tribal council, people will just talk about how she just played the middle, versus Jason that did all of that craziness and was really killing it in all of those challenges. And he caused chaos, and chaos is good. Just ask Chaos Cass. Now back at the beach, Sydney doesn't like taking orders. Joe seemed upset, and we didn't know why he was upset. I'm assuming he was upset because they lost the reward challenge and it was his fault. But Sydney was just like, I don't like anybody telling me what to do. This is getting on my nerves. And quite a few people on Twitter agreed with her. And I was just trying to figure out why Joe was upset. let's see. So the immunity challenge winner was Sydney. And here's what I thought about that. It's pretty funny how Jeff Probst had completely written off Sydney. Like, Sydney's not going to win this immunity challenge. She's moving too slow. She's way behind everybody else because she kept moving slow and, like, piling up those different blocks and just moving slow and pulling that rope slowly. So when she won, Jeff Probst was surprised. Everybody online was surprised. I was surprised, but I say congratulations to Sydney. This is her first immunity challenge that she won, and she really, really needed this win, despite the fact that her name wasn't immediately coming up in the conversations because of the way the show was edited, or the episode was edited, but still. As they say, it's an old saying, slow and steady wins the race. She was patient. She was more patient than me because I probably would have knocked over all of those blocks after the first go round. So, Ty basically tells the group that he wants Michele out. Point blank. Joe's not here for it. Sydney's not here for it. And I'm just saying to myself that, like, Ty is going to waste his advantage on Michele trying to get her out of the game. So, Ty tells Jason to vote for Michele, and Jason's like, I'm not voting for Michele. I can't trust Ty. He's like, I'm going to vote whatever way I vote. So pretty much he was solid about voting out Joe. Sydney and Joe decide they want to get rid of Ty. Clearly at some point, but not right now because Ty has those advantages. So Sydney seems solid in wanting to get rid of Jason. But she does not want to get rid of Michele, and neither does Joe. So Sydney confides in Michele. She tells Michele about everything that's going on and how Ty is trying to lead the charge against Michele. And Michele says, listen, I'm going to do damage control. I'm going to clear my name, and I'm going to basically out Ty again. And I'm saying again because remember last week, Jason outed him. So all of a sudden we learn that Aubrey doesn't want to get rid of Jason. She wants Michele to go, but she doesn't like the way that Ty presented his case because it wasn't, in her eyes, democratic. But this should show her that at this point in the game, Ty feels like he's in control and maybe she shouldn't trust him. So next week's episode is going to be so interesting now that Jason is gone. But anyway, she tells us she doesn't know who she's voting for. And I'm just like, come on, Aubrey, please don't mess this up. Please don't. And Ty, for some reason, thinks that he runs the tribe. I'm like, Ty, how do you run this tribe? You don't. And it seems like what Jason was saying is coming true. And I love Ty to death, but I feel like Ty needs to just step back and calm down his overconfidence at this point, because even past winners have been very, what's the word? I wouldn't say humble, but they've kind of like, I guess the term slowed their roll a little bit as far as saying, I'm going to win this, because there's always that doubt in the back of their mind that's always eating at them. But at Tribal Council, for some reason, Ty starts talking about how he needs some alone time with Sydney. And I'm like, why do you need alone time with Sydney at Tribal Council? Like, Ty, what are you doing? And then Michele reveals to the jury that there is a pecking order that she knows about because Sydney told her. And she also reveals that Ty, like what Jason said, turned on all of his alliances. And Michelle's pretty loyal and Jason's just calm and zen. So it comes down to a vote of 4 for Jason, 2 for Michele, and 1 for Joe. Joe, Sydney, Aubrey, and Michele voted for Jason. Ty wasted his extra vote on Michele, and Joe received a vote from Jason, obviously. And Jason went home, but like I said, he's happy because he's like, listen, Ty might follow. So he didn't exactly say Ty, but you can pretty much put 2 and 2 together and realize that Ty might be the next person to go, even though he has those 2 idols, because clearly he's not using them and he feels very, very overconfident. All in all, tonight's episode was okay. I'm waiting patiently for next week's episode. Hopefully I will be able to get that review out for you, because I'm going to be doing stuff and things next week. But if I don't, I will get that review done. I promise. But I love you guys. Take care. Thank you so much for being so patient. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to rate this video. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you thought of tonight's episode and this season so far, and who you think will win. Me, I don't know at this point, because I do like Ty, but now, after tonight's episode, it's anybody's game. But I love you all. Bye, guys. Bye.